Welcome back to another video on the New Frontiers Energy channel. In this episode, David Russell walks through the fund's investor deck.
Hi, and thanks very much for your interest in the New Frontiers Energy Fund. Over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to run through the presentation with you. What I would suggest, though, download the full presentation and read it through thoroughly in your own time. There's a lot of information on this front page, but a lot of positives, but they will be covered as we go through. First slide here is the pillars of New Frontiers. Very, very important. We are from an award-winning fund manager, Fundbox, a very well-respected fund management house in Lisbon, voted Fund Management House of the Year 2024. We are one of their stable of funds, and we are their flagship Golden Visa fund. By virtue of the assets we invest in, we qualify investors for the Golden Visa. If you would like, you can simply invest in New Frontiers as a standalone private equity fund in its own right. 10% fund performance, very important. In 2024, our portfolio grew at 10%. In 2025, it grew at just over 10%. We aim to make just over 10% return each year for every year you would be invested in the fund. But as you can see, we've got a good pedigree and track record. We've also got a great international team. Our origination team has been involved in solar projects all over the world, from that early stage to ready to build stage, and they typically double the value of those projects over a 3 to 5 year period. We have flexibility at New Frontiers. If you choose to quit the programme, you can write to the fund and request your money back early, and we also allow you to invest directly into the fund rather than holding and through a Portuguese bank account first of all. And most importantly, we are fully CMVM regulated. Portugal has a very strong financial regulator. It's the highest level of investor protection, and they have lots of systems and controls, processes to ensure that the fund is of a very high standard. And there's a quote at the bottom from a very respected chartered financial analysts group saying that New Frontiers is in their top 2, which is praise indeed. Lots of legal firms that we deal with. You can select, if you don't have a legal firm to represent you, you can select from one of those. Again, talking about CMVM. Capturing the spirit of the Golden Visa, we invest in early stage solar projects in Portugal. We fully capture the spirit of the Golden Visa and the spirit in which the Golden Visa was intended to benefit Portugal. Coming along, how do we make money? We invest in early stage solar projects. They don't have any permitting. We get them through their various milestones. We get their approval for a grid connection, environmental approvals, and we sell when that project is at ready to build stage. The profit level is very significant, between 0 permits and many permits. We've got a great international team, as I said, lots of expertise. There's a lot more detail there on the wider team and background. And very importantly, we only invest in projects that are on the government's Accordo list. That means the government has guaranteed that they will be given a grid connection offer to plug into the grid by 2030. It's very important for risk mitigation. It's a great benefit to have for any project. Lots I'm skipping through at the moment, but as I said in this last slide here, we've got the ability to withdraw early should you decide to quit the programme. The Golden Visa is not for you. You can write to the fund and request your money back. Wind and waivers, there's a lot of the government in general in Portugal is a huge proponent of solar energy, and they've passed a number of laws to allow quick and simple permitting for remote rural areas. We do invest in the triple whammy, battery storage, wind and solar as well, in order to maximise profits. As I stated, we're running at 10% profit in 2024 and 2025, and we hope to produce that profit every year that you would be invested in our fund. And as I said, we were at the fund performance of 2025, delighted again to achieve 10% return in that year also. Coming back to what we do, we invest in early stage solar projects that appear on the government Accordo list. That means they're guaranteed a grid connection by 2030. We then look at rural projects which may be suitable for waivers. We also look at flat land which would be suitable for wind turbines, land with enough area for batteries. All of the potential in these projects relates to the value of the projects and the effective upside that we can sell the project for when it's at ready to build stage. We're very aligned with government plans and targets as well. It's very important to know that the European Commission has set significant targets on all of its member states to purchase electricity that's been renewably generated from friendly neighbours. Okay, and Portugal is very strategically placed. It's bolted right on to Europe, and the infrastructure is already there with the cabling. So the solar future of Portugal is on a significant trajectory. But as I mentioned, we've got a very strict investment process. We look at accordless projects, rural projects, flat projects, and projects with enough area for battery storage as well to get that proper triple whammy there. Number of articles here that you can read, and if you Google solar in Portugal, you will only hear positive success stories. So we're delighted to be involved in this area also during your Golden Visa journey. We've got a great onboarding team. Our fees are very typical of a private equity firm. Private equity fund, 1.5% per annum is very standard, and there is a performance fee also, which is fairly calculated and only payable to the fund if the fund averages a return of 10% per annum, which is significant. An optional add-on, very importantly, which I'll let you read about yourself, is the all-weather defined return fund. You are entitled to invest up to 40% of the monies in New Frontiers into the all-weather defined return fund. It's a very well-crafted portfolio of structured products based on the major markets of the FTSE 100, the S&P and Euro stocks. It gives global diversification to the portfolio in general and among asset class as well. So have a look and a consideration of that. If you want any other information, email david@newfrontiersenergy.com, and I'll be very happy to run through this presentation with you in person. Thanks for watching.